So just a quick video to look at how to get essentially circles cut into objects. Obviously, I'm going to use a cube, but it can be literally any object. Now, there's a couple of approaches that you can have, and I'm going to look to try and put essentially a circle in the middle of the face of this cube. So the first one is a lot less destructive, but takes a lot more work, I guess, to get it exactly where you want the circle to be. So I would usually use a multi-cut tool. I'm aiming for the middle, so I would just essentially give it a face in the middle that it can then use. So I've used the multi-cut, Control-Shift-X. It does sit here, and it is in Mesh Tools. And I've got a face in the middle that I can now sort of use. The best way to get to this tool, which is called Circularize, it sits here, or you can hold Shift and right click, and you can go to Circularize Components. Now, when we use this, it doesn't look like it's worked, and that's because it just gives you the very base settings, and you obviously have to tell it what exactly you want. So the first one that I usually like to do is add some divisions. So to get the actual circle shape that I'm aiming for. And I feel like that's the best place to start, and then you can go from there. So there's then obviously radial offset, which is going to make the actual face bigger or smaller. Normal offset, if it's going to protrude the whole face or faces that are joined on, inwards or outwards. Twist is self-explanatory, obviously twist the face. That doesn't matter as much unless you're doing something like the normal offset. So if it's flat, the actual twist won't really come into play. And they're the only ones that I'm really going to look at for this. So I'm going to keep them as they are. You can put supporting edges in. So this will try and clean up the end-ons. So with both of the tools I'm going to show you, you're getting end-ons, which is obviously an issue. You don't ever want to have end-ons if you can. But you can't really get around it. If you put a circle into a square or a triangle, you're going to get some problems. So the supporting edges can do the cleanup for you. So interior obviously puts it within the face itself. Exterior joins it to the exterior faces, which clean up the end-ons. Or obviously both will do, interior and exterior. However, I like to avoid it just because of how bad it does. In essence, it's just like we use a cleanup tool. It doesn't do a great job. It does whatever it sees as the easiest for itself. It does not take into consideration good topology flow or being efficient. So it's put way too many cuts than it actually needs in the middle here. So I do try and avoid it personally, and I feel like you should yourself. I've got the face there. I wanted it pushed in slightly so I can extrude. So put the move tool on the translate tool by pressing W or the little toolbar here. And then we can hold shift, and on your x-axis, the red one, we can just push it in. And I've got that sort of circle cut inside that I was aiming for. However, I've just got the end-ons to clean up. So best way I use find multi-cut, sits here, mesh tools or Control-Shift-X. We hold right click and go on vertex select so we can see them. I will then spend the time to click on the verts, so make sure it goes red. Click on one of the exterior verts, make sure it goes red, and then press enter to cut it. And start cleaning that up. So with the circle, you obviously have to do the exterior faces, and you would need to do the interior. But like I said, we can do the cleanup relatively efficiently, or more so than the automatic was doing. I'm not going to spend too much time cleaning them up. It's just to show you the tool. So Circularize can get a circle into there quite easily. If you didn't want these hard edges, so obviously this rigidness, we can utilize the smooth edge. So we can click the edges, hold shift and double click them onto the side to grab them all. And then we can do mesh display and soften edge. And that will just fake the lighting on them edges to make them look smoother than they actually are. So it's not going to display that angular sharp edge they did have to start with. If you wanted to revert it, you can select them and mesh display harden. That's the first one, Circularize. The other way is to do a Boolean. So Booleans, again, very destructive, fantastic for getting complex shapes added on or obviously cut out of other objects, but just like Circularize, it's probably going to give you more, I would say, engons or potential issues. So it's one of them risk-reward sort of aspects that you have to judge. So just to rotate it, press E, and then we can hold J to do increments. I'm going to line that up exactly where I want it, and I can also tell it how far I want to go into the face. So this is where you get more control than what we did with Circularize, where we had to do the cuts and try and get it lined up where we wanted in the middle. Obviously, I did it very quickly. With the Boolean, we put the actual object exactly where we want it to the size we want. So you do get that freedom. What we need to do is to select both. We need to do a mesh. Edit mesh. Mesh, Boolean, and B minus A. So A is the one that you selected first, B is obviously the one you selected second. So if I do B minus A, it cuts the Boolean, which was the cylinder, so it Booleans into the actual cube, and it's giving us a preview. So this red sort of line, this is the cylinder that still technically exists, but it's made it a wireframe to let you see the actual result of the Boolean, but to give you the option to actually adjust it. So I can still move the Boolean around because we're in essence, a preview mode. So I can resize it, can push it in more so, and get it exactly where I want, how I want, before I even have to sort of commit and move forwards. You do get the attribute editor pop up, so I could change my mind and go, oh, I've selected the wrong one. So I actually might have wanted it the other way, so the cube to cut into the cylinder. So you do get, obviously, any Boolean option, so union's going to stick them together. So you get the flexibility to actually adjust what type of Boolean you want. All we're going to look at is, obviously, the difference one. So once you're happy, which I am with that, this is how I want it to be. All we have to do to get rid of this sort of preview is to delete the history. So Alt-Shift-D to delete the history, or it is this little button here. It's also a good time at this point to freeze your transformation. So it looks like a brand new object to Maya. You're not going to get any sort of problems. So again, this is a little snowflake with the 3 zeros, or you can modify freeze. So we've deleted the history, which has got rid of the preview and almost confirmed the Boolean, and we've frozen the transformations, which essentially zeroes everything out. Again, all we've got to do is clean up that bad topology. So it's given us all engons out here. We don't actually have any on the inside to clean up because they were already clean on the cylinder. So it would be a matter of equipping the multicut again. So here, or Control-Shift-X, vertex mode, and then clicking on the vert when it goes red, clicking on an exterior one when it goes red and pressing enter, and going around and cleaning up that topology. So the two ways to really easily cut circles into an object. Obviously the first tool, Circularize, this one here, only gives you circles. The Boolean one can actually give you any shape. So I could have done that with any object and cut that shape out of the cube. It wouldn't just have to be a cylinder or a circle. So thank you.